just like him. And I was like, Lord, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've done things I'm ashamed of, like, you know, but God has forgiven me, and I've forgiven myself, and I moved on past that. But that's why I say I be here and I be trying to let people know that, hey, you know, when you going through things, getting into a relationship with somebody who's not your wife or husband not gonna make it better. Having sex outside of marriage not gonna help it make it better. Doing drugs until you're just out of your mind, drinking till you're out of your mind, that's not gonna help make things in your life better. I'm telling you, having a relationship with Christ, and it just makes a big difference in your life. Good morning, happy Friday. It's the weekend, baby. It's the weekend, and I'm so glad about it. I got a lot of stuff going on, and I got a lot of things I gotta move around and all that type of stuff. And y'all, I'm in a season of change in increments, though. So everything is not gonna happen at once, but I'll keep y'all posted on, you know, if anybody is interested. I know a lot of people don't watch anything but my cooking videos, and that's fine, because my channel started off, all I did was cook. For you thought about, a lot of people call me for advice and stuff that know me personally. I said, and maybe there'll be some things I can share to help somebody here as well, and that's why I'm here. I also want to share lights. You know, oftentimes in this world, things are dark. You hear a lot of bad news. Just like y'all gonna see something I share on, I did a short this morning I posted. That's not something that I normally do. But I'm going to tell y'all, when I do something, it's from a place of love. It is a place of reflection and, you know, just life. You know, some of the things I talked about, or some of the things I talk about, are things I've experienced, or things I've experienced through other people's experience. I didn't experience it personally, right? I was will I say unwilling, unknown participant. So something may have possibly happened with some other people that I was privy to. You know, I was given a rundown on. It didn't affect me in any other way other than I had compassion for the people as they were going through it. So that's what I'm saying. You can learn stuff so much from other people. So much. You know, so many times I've avoided mistakes because I listened to what somebody else told me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really need a perm. And I wish I could be one of those who could go natural, but I know my scalp gets irritated. I don't know if I'm a crack addiction to my scalp. I don't know, but I'm just wanting to do some things differently. Y'all know I told y'all, a lot of y'all not. And welcome all my new subscribers. It's all love over here. And to my returning stars of love for y'all too. Y'all know we family. We spread love and light, letting others know that God is real by the way we treat people, by the way we act, you know. And you know, God's people are peculiar people. Some things that we go through, people be like, how in the world are they able to act like that in that situation? Because I know God got me in all areas of my life. And I mean, it took me a while to get here. Remember, I started off being an adult at a young age because I did adult things. And I had, you know, that's actions and consequences. And that's what I be trying to teach others. You know, you think you're ready for something until you're actually faced with it. And then some of the things we have to be faced with are things that we can't decide, guess what? I don't like that. I don't want to be a mother. I want to give my child away, or I don't want to be bothered with my child. The Lord gave you that child. You did what it takes to get that child, and I just feel like you need to be woman enough or man enough to do what it takes to take care of it. You know, how dare you accept a gift from God and then not take care of it? That's just how I see it. But anyway, yeah, I may be all over the place, but somebody might understand. I'm just trying to go. That's it, and that's all. Y'all know I'm a humble spirit. I don't think I'm any better than anybody else. How can I? I mean, how can I? I'm driving up. And that's another thing, though. But a car don't make you. What you own don't make you, right? Only what you do for God will last. But think about this. When you die, all the things you accumulated in life, you won't be able to take it with you. What about your soul, baby? That's so important on so many levels. And I have one grandchild. I have one grandchild that didn't make it, but I have one grandson that's living. And that's one thing I want my daughter to do is get up and get him involved in church. Because I know, especially as a young African-American male, you guys, anyone of you listening, you are faced with a lot of challenges. It's some of the things that you have to experience and endure is just unimaginable. Even as an African American female, we're not expected to maintain or to reach a level of prosperity that's easily given to others. Honestly, if we get it, I promise you, we work twice as hard to get there. This is not what somebody told me. This is what I know. This is what I know. And so, what is that? Yeah. But anyway, it's Friday. Y'all be blessed. All right. Show nice. That's cute. Make someone smile. And I'll talk to y'all later. Have a fantastic weekend. It's the weekend, baby. You think something be missing and you go all around God trying to find what's missing. It's really Him. What you really missing in your life is God. That's where that incomplete piece of that puzzle is. It's Him. It's Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And we're expecting a lot of rain today. We had to cancel our feeding today because of the weather. I hate that because we hadn't been able to do it. Because different reasons. The last couple of times that we canceled earlier in the year was because of the weather, and so now we're having the same problem. But God know our heart, and whenever we do be able to feed, we're gonna do it. I saw where a young man went out in the river to save his two stepdaughters, and he drowned. All three of them drowned. That was sad to me. A young black guy. They said he was a DJ. I forget where that happened at. I forgot where it was. But it's just so much, y'all. That's why I say, there's so much going on in the world. And I remember my friend, she's deceased now, and we were talking one day, and she said, I was telling her, I don't want to do things. Think about this. I know what happened. What it was a man in our town. They say when he passed, he was at his girlfriend's house. Well, let's not say girlfriend, let's say mistress, because he had a wife. And I was like, what about the wife that's going to grieve his death and the fact that he was cheating on her and he died? I guess we don't. And what I was telling my friend was, I don't want something to happen to me and it caused my family to be embarrassed and everything. And then they showed the guy who, I did a little short, and I'll show y'all here about the situation where the couple, I said cold busted at a Coldplay concert, and I had seen pictures of the husband and the wife in that same pose. So I guess he like standing behind his woman and had his hand wrapped around her, just how he did the other woman. I was like, Lord have mercy. And very handsome young men. Looked like one of the guys that was standing up there. One of the kids looked like her. The boy that was graduating, the young man graduating just like him. And I was like, Lord, I I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've done things I'm ashamed of, like, but God has forgiven me, and I've forgiven myself, and I moved on past that. But that's why I say I be here and I be trying to let people know that, hey, when you going through things, getting into a relationship with somebody who's not your wife or husband not gonna make it better. Having sex outside of marriage not gonna help it make it better. Doing drugs until you're just out of your mind, drinking till you're out of your mind, that's not gonna help make things in your life better. I'm telling you, having a relationship with Christ, and it just makes a big difference in your life. You think something be missing, and you go all around God trying to find what's missing, and it's really Him. What you're really missing in your life is God. That's where that incomplete piece of that puzzle is. It's Him. It's not having a relationship with Him. And how I can tell y'all that I had to learn it for myself. I was telling, I talked about this before, and a lot of my videos don't get a lot of views. But like I said, y'all, if I had one person, I don't have to be popular. God know me. It don't matter to me who know my name. As long as I know God know my name, baby, I'm good. I promise you, I am. But anyway, so much. So much. Everybody want fortune and fame, but here's my stance. Everybody would love to be popular. Everybody would love to be wanted, admired, appreciated. But if God ain't giving it to you, baby, what you consider a blessing could actually be a curse. That's all I'm trying to say, is that get that relationship with God and everything else will fall in place. I promise you. It'll be where peace lies. You don't have to be so high till you think you're above everybody. You ain't going to be beneath. You're going to be cold, straight down, right there in the middle. And you're going to be fine. I promise you that. And that's what I be trying to teach. That's what I be wanting little kids to know. You be seeing little kids, you'll talk to them, and they put their head down. You know what I'm saying? And I told my son, he used to do that. And I had to teach him, hey, keep your head up, because when you put your head down, that gives people a feeling of superiority over you. Nobody is in it better than you. I don't care what they drive, what they have, where they live, what they wear, how they look. Nobody. We all just filthy rags, right? We all made of dirt, and we all gonna return of dirt. So what somebody had don't make them any better than you. And some people, that the material things give them a sense of grandeur, attitude of being superior and all that, and that's fine if that's what they want to believe. Everybody have a choice to believe what they want. But when it's all said and done, baby, that don't matter. It doesn't matter. So, it don't take it. Like, I don't understand why some men not satisfied with one woman. Why they got to have 3, 4, 5, even 2. I feel like a real man, a man who is confident in himself, wouldn't need but one. Because really, you are enough by yourself. Yeah. So my son want to get on, and he want to talk about some of his struggles as an autistic young adult, and I told him that I help him with that. He loves he likes creative writing, and he wants to do screenwriting and things like that, and I told him I'm going to help him with it. But and like I told him, get started right here. My daughter, she braids hair. One of my daughters is a real good dancer, and I told them to just start channels. Do what you love. And like the pastor was saying, you'll know when you're living in your purpose, because your purpose is tied to your gift. I was like, Lord have mercy. Woo! All right, y'all, let me get off here. Like, the weather's getting ready to get bad, but I need to run to the bank. I need to also.
I feel the love. I feel it growing every day. I feel the love. I feel the love. I hope it never goes away. I feel the love, love, love.